Alright, so our sci-fi month will continue. The two previous videos I covered the warp drive and the hyperdrive. I was just watching over the videos and realized that when I ended up redoing uh, the first scientific science fiction slash sci-fi science fact video, I missed a little bit of information. I was talking about beryllium, uranium, potassium, fluoride, and thorium, and then the second video picked up from that. Um, if you want, I'll go over that in another video. Like I said, just leave your questions, comments, um, video ideas in the comments section, and we'll go from there. I also mentioned in that original first video that I did for science fiction and sci-fi science fact video about the slipstream being another one of Roddenberry's creations, along with the warp drive and then the Star Wars hyperdrive. So in this video we'll go over the slipstream. So motion sickness again. Here we go. Alright, so your slipstream, your homeworld, your spacecraft, your desired world. Still need your distance and coordinates for the place. Slipstream has many facets and tunnels you can go through. And your slipstream is an engine that powers the strip through a wormhole type quantum singularity to a location in minutes instead of hours or days. The theory of it is the slipstream is a wormhole that moves a spacecraft faster than light and bends the space-time continuum. Homeworld, spacecraft, your wormhole tube, and your direction world. The objective, by creating a wormhole in front of the spacecraft, pulling it through the galaxy at faster than light speeds. Here's a little note for you. Slipstream is a random vortex of travel lanes. The only issue is you have to know which tunnel to take at various times in travel. As seen here, your homeworld, as you enter the slipstream, there are different facets which go different directions. You have to know which one will end you up at your desired location. It's awesome. If you've ever watched Andromeda, they use the slipstream in that. If you haven't seen it, check Netflix, see if they have it. It had Kevin Sorbo as the captain of the ship, who was frozen at the edge of a black hole, frozen in time at the edge of a black hole for like 500 years. And when the ship broke free, his Commonwealth that he had been serving was destroyed, and everything was in random chaos. And his character set forth to rebuild the Commonwealth and re-establish justice in the galaxy. And they travel through slipstream. Alright? So, it's a viable concept. It's pretty much a combination of the warp drive and the hyperdrive, which is pretty cool, but the random variations within it cause a slight bit of a problem. In Andromeda, they explain that only human beings can traverse the slipstream tunnels properly and not end up somewhere where they don't want to be or dead. Other species can kind of do it, but human beings are the only ones that can do it relatively perfectly. Robots can't do it for some strange reason. So we'll give you a little rough view of what the Andromeda looked like and stuff. So here's my crappy drawing of the Andromeda. I don't have a direct picture of it anymore. I think I've got one in my Project Blue Book folder, but that's in the back of a trailer outside, buried under snow. So here's your basic ship. These little things were torpedo tubes. You had laser cannons lined along the rim of this thing. You had a couple of docking bays somewhere in here, and your engine's back here. This is what the slipstream reactor looked like. I believe what it looked like in Andromeda. I don't remember exactly. But it's kind of like the warp drive here. This compression magnifier here is microwave electromagnetic. and then your engine, and your thruster, your fuel tank. They never said what fuel they used in it, but I'm going to say it's probably the same thing that you'd use in a hyperdrive. Here's a quick layout of the Andromeda. You had several decks. Your slipstream covered 6 decks, which makes it about 10 feet in diameter, and it's 60 feet high. It's 30 feet bigger than the warp drive, but it's roughly the same diameter. And computer systems and all that. But it's one of Roddenberry's more vague computers, engine systems. He put a lot more work into Star Trek than he did Andromeda. I think the reason for that is he died before he finished Andromeda, and they were like, oh, hey, look, here's a new series from Roddenberry. Let's throw it together and see what it was like. But it was pretty decent. The storyline was okay. It lacked a few things. The details on the engine and stuff was pretty vague. But really, what little bit of information we have on the slipstream and the slipstream drive and that comes from one series, which I believe was maybe 2 seasons long. And it didn't really talk about the slipstream engine or any issues like that. The Andromeda ship itself was self-repairing. It had nanobots to repair itself. Its AI was known as Andromeda. They referred to the robotic version of it as Rami. But it was a pretty decent series. That's really all we have for the slipstream. I mean, it's that vague on information. You want more information on it, I can dig things up. I can work out equations and things and build a better video for it if you'd like. But it's relatively useless at this point, and your hyperdrive and warp drive have more information than the slipstream. So that's all for now. I think the next video we'll probably tackle is on the TV series 7 Days. Starred Jonathan LaPaglia. Check it out if you haven't seen it. It was on in the late 90s, early 2000s, about the same time the Highlander series was going on. It also had Justina Vale, who also portrayed a character in Highlander the series. Check that out. You have any questions before I post that video, let me know. I'll probably do that video tomorrow. So that's all for now. Have a good day.